Former Commissioner for Information in Plateau State, Dati, joins me on the news for more on this development. Good to have you join us.
Thank you very much, and good evening, viewers.
So when Governor Caleb Mutfwang visited the community, he described the recent attacks and killings as a coordinated crime, and he said they were sponsored by conflict merchants and not necessarily a farmer-header clash. Do you agree with that assessment, and how would you describe the nature of these attacks?
Well, first and foremost, being someone from Plateau State myself, I'd like to commensurate with people who are directly affected and indirectly too, especially those who have lost ones. We pray that may their soul rest in perfect peace. Straight to your question, I believe that the governor has captured the situation succinctly, because what we have now is about terrorists coming in to attack people that are living peacefully in their communities. And this pattern of attack has been established over the years. Most times when the rainy seasons are approaching, you begin to see those kinds of attacks. And I believe that with what has been happening with the intervention of the security forces and the collaboration between the state and the federal government, we're being able to check this, because the intention, I'm sure, of these terrorists is to begin to roll down from town to city, like they did in Zamfara and Katsina State, where they even hoisted their flags in the distant past. So we want to commend men of the military for coming in and checking the incursion by these insurgents. And we also want to say at this point that it is an attack. It is not a clash between farmers and herders, like the governor said. It is an attack by people who want to take over land, who want to take over the resources. And at this point in time, Plateau must come together as one, devoid of any politicking, to ensure that we face
Mr.
this
Dati,
issue
if I may come in here, because you have said that there is now a collaboration between the federal government, the military, the state government, and to check the incursion. But this is not the first time we're seeing that kind of collaboration. When Mangu was also under attack, we saw collaboration. Is there a sense that the attacks in Plateau State is defying all efforts to curb it?
No, as painful as the attack in Plateau State is, it is also important to look at things in bigger perspective. We've had such similar attacks in Benue, we've had in Zamfara, we've had in Katsina. And these insurgents, there have been several reasons that have been adduced. Maybe land, some say it's mineral, and until the last one that we had from America, where we had that the USAID funding was also part of the backup of these insurgents that come in to attack people who live in their peaceful communities. So there is a need for a coordinated attack. And why I say is that the federal government, you recall that was 2 days ago, Mala Ribadu was in Plateau State to assess the situation and commiserate. And just today, the chief of Army Staff, General Oloyede, was there himself. He had an interactive session with the people and also went around as far as Shandam to other military barracks to ginger and check on the readiness of the armed forces. And I think there's a point that is very important here, that the communities must begin, like the Chief of Army Staff said, they don't have enough men to be able to be everywhere. So the communities must begin to look at community engagement as a priority, such that communities can come together, design in line and advise with the security forces to be able to operate their own response mechanism. It may be in terms of
Mr. Dati,
empowering the vigilantes.
I do have to comment because you've already started touching on it, but I just wanted to, also just ask more questions on what you're saying. Because in the last report that we had, I mean, you look at the fact that it's a multifaceted kind of attack. There is the ethnicity to it, there is religion to it. Governor has mentioned conflict merchants. And I was going to ask you what you think or what you consider the holistic approach to ending the attacks.
No, I want to say that it's very important to ensure that we restrict these people to criminals. We are dealing with criminals. Whether they are into kidnapping, whether they are into land grabbing, they are purely criminals. And they must be attacked as criminals. a situation where we allow the situation to generate, where they allow our fault lines of religion, ethnicity to come in, we'll be missing the point. We are dealing with criminals who are coming to kill, maim, and take over the land that belongs to the people. And that is why we must also support the security agencies to also act on information. Because the people in the environment, those I spoke with just yesterday, said they can even identify the rocks and the mountains where these people are staying. And some of them are not even Nigerians because of people who have even had them communicate. So you begin to see the foreign and international dimension to all this. So beginning to look at the issue of attack, where we begin to fall back to the lazy analysis that projects our fault lines, will not solve the problems. And that is why I agree with the general that the kinetic and non-kinetic strategies must be deployed simultaneously.
All right. Thank you so much, former Commissioner of Information in Plateau State, Yakubu Dati.